So, Mark, did you see the largest dough stretch competition that happened in Vegas at the World Pizza Games this week? That's some serious dough.
Oh yeah, I'd love to eat a pizza that big. I mean, there's you ever see those videos where if you eat the whole pizza, it's free or you get $1,000 or whatever. This is that size, a cool skill. Definitely hard to throw that up in the air, but who doesn't want some forearm hair in their pizza?
I mean, isn't that the way it's supposed to be? A hairy Italian guy making your pizza, tossing it up. This is what I grew up with.
You weren't expecting that one, were you?
So Durango is in the middle of building phase 3, and we've shown you the concept art and everything, but Detroit 1051, old friend of the show, stopped by there, posted a few pictures. So this is what it looks like. It looks underground, digging holes in the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing that you can pay and just drive around and with excavators and dig it out yourself. No, it's cool to see it moving along. It just feels like Durango has not stopped since they first opened, just continuously expanding. So it's cool to see. And we still have to have dinner. Detroit, we still got to have dinner one of these times when I'm out there.
Yeah, thanks for the pictures and for the update. Can't wait to see Durango evolve into the full locals casino experience, unlike the one we talked about on the last show.
You mean the one you hated?
I didn't hate it. It's just uninspired. So on the last show, we talked also about the NBA and the likelihood that Las Vegas is getting an NBA team. The owners in the NBA approved basically exploring expansion in Seattle and Las Vegas. And by the end of the year, they'll probably confirm it. And then the speculation has been wide across the internet as to what the name of the Vegas basketball team should be. Some of the big contenders, the Las Vegas Dealers, the Blackjacks, the Las Vegas Jokers, the Las Vegas Sharks, the Las Vegas Oasis, Mirage. The Las Vegas Mirage is 8-1 on Bet Online. So there's some odds. I like Mirage, but it's owned by MGM. So does that mean the team's going to T-Mobile Arena?
Well, that's what it's weird. I'm sure they want to hold on to that name in case they want to use it in the future or open something else. I mean, could you imagine if they brought a Mirage as their next casino that they built in Vegas, which I doubt they're going to build anything anytime soon, but it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if you want to give up that name. And I also wonder, like, how deeply will they lean into gambling? And, Jokers is a good one where it ties into gambling, but it's not really gambling. Something like that. Dealers is another one that I could see working. So those would be probably my top two.
Another one that's suggested is the Las Vegas Neon, but there's no neon left in town, so maybe it should be the Las Vegas Screens.
Bad joke. No, actually, I think I'm with you. I know that you like neon. I think that's the name they should lean into.
Another funny one was Scorpions, given all the latest news. People really like that one as well. But speaking of screens, the Hard Rock on the Strip, there's another guitar, not the big giant tower that they're building, but the Hard Rock Cafe further south on the Strip at the Showcase Mall. They replaced their guitar outside with a screen, a guitar-shaped screen.
Yeah, there you go. See, Las Vegas Screen, Shawn, you were right. It was a good joke. It's kind of crazy how quickly this thing went up, and it looks nice. But how many guitars do we need on the Vegas Strip?
More. I mean, we can never get enough guitars. We can never get enough screens. Seriously, though, we've talked about Times Square of Las Vegas. This is getting out of hand. The light pollution is insane.
Yeah, it's distracting. It takes away from the architecture that we see elsewhere and the things that we really want to pay attention to. I get it. There's money to be made when you have these billboards and selling ads and all that, and they want to monetize every single inch of everywhere in Vegas. It is detracting from the spectacle that is all the amazing buildings in Vegas.
Yeah, it's an interesting development, but I think that it really is economics, like you say, that people are wondering why are all these giant screens. It's really advertising. Big money here in Vegas and a lot of pedestrian traffic, a lot of eyeballs on those screens. And so, yeah, we're going to see more and more of them, but we need more of those 3D billboards, unique shapes. Let's do something different with it.
I do like that they're hiding the dirty elevators, so I'll give them those screens. Those are good.
Yes, sometimes you get a happy accident, but let's talk resorts. Remember when they opened, cashless gaming was the big thing, and you could get your wallet. Remember they had that really cool promotion, I don't know, a couple $100. I remember scoring that for setting up the cashless wallet and all of that, and then nobody's ever talked about the cashless wallet ever again since then, and Resorts World has finally done away with it. They said they're moving away from cashless gaming, returning to the traditional model, cash in, TITO out.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea. The system was kind of wonky. I remember when I tried to use it when I was there in the beginning, it just didn't seem to work well. Nobody really knew how to do anything with it. If you don't hit the ground running, people aren't going to adopt it and have it continue to grow. So I think it was kind of dead on arrival because it just was a little bit glitchy and didn't make a lot of sense. And the employees didn't really understand it in my experience early on. So I'm not surprised. I do think that's kind of the future, but maybe they rolled it out a little too soon.
Yeah, we talked about Plaza with the QR code and that new system, and I think that they've tried to take all of the barriers out, which I think is not a good thing. I think some barriers to getting your money is, and this did have some barriers because you had to sign up for an account, and I don't know, just put money in the machine. That makes more sense. But I agree. I think the gaming industry is trying to find ways to eliminate all those barriers. So the next gen of this technology is coming. It's already rolling out. Whether it's good or bad, that's, I guess people have different opinions.
Yeah, and as the sports books online continue to grow and more states add them, that's kind of what people are used to. And some states have online casinos, and they're just a couple buttons ready to go, ready to play. So I think they want to get that in the physical casinos. But we see that with even when you use the apps in Vegas, you got to load it at the casino cage. They still have those barriers. Like you said, I'm sure they wish they didn't. But until they get rid of that for the simple thing of sports betting, I don't see them doing something that's really unique here on the casino floor.
In a minute, we're going to talk about Justin Timberlake possibly coming to Vegas. But before we do, I'd love to invite you to subscribe each episode. Thousands of you watch the show who are not subscribed. It's free. Just hit the button on YouTube. You'll get notified of all of our videos. Thanks in advance. So Justin Timberlake has been in the news lately. I guess his body cam footage from his 2024 DUI was released. So why not rehab your image in Las Vegas? And the rumors are that he is negotiating for a 2028 residency at Park MGM. That's the same place that Bruno Mars calls home, Lady Gaga in the past. So he would fit in nicely, and it would be a big score for MGM and the theater. I'd love to see Justin come here.
I mean, should we do it like Bruno Mars, like a Vegas Vacation, where he's like, "How about you just give me half the money now, and I'll kick you in the nuts." Like Bruno Mars can just pay Justin Timberlake instead of losing it at the table and probably save some money. No, that's a bad joke.
Yeah,
the funny thing is,
follow that.
Somebody will. Maybe somebody will follow my wavelength down there. But it's funny, we were talking about this on the after show last week. We got into boy band talk, and this came up, and you hadn't seen it yet. Now it's on this show. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, Justin was pretty smashed in those videos, and they wanted to really, I can't believe they had 8 hours of footage. They ended up narrowing it down to like 20 minutes, but you could tell he wasn't just like a little buzz. It was bad. I'm sure everybody will give him the second chance, and it'll be a big show.
Yeah, it would be huge for the Strip. And I think this is another sort of confirmation that the Las Vegas Strip is no longer where celebrities go to die. I mean, the biggest names in entertainment are coming here, state-of-the-art theaters, state-of-the-art venues, whether it's the Sphere or these 5,000-seat theaters like Dolby at Park MGM. It's a place to go, whether you're kind of down and out or you're on top of your game.
I mean, but how long has it been since he released a non-troll song?
Oh, stop. It's Justin. It's JT. He's never not on top of his game. Come on. So we wanted to provide a quick update on the Tillman Fertitta Caesars situation. We've learned some more since we originally covered it on the show a couple weeks ago. As a reminder, there was sort of a bidding war between Tillman Fertitta and Carl Icahn for Caesars Entertainment. I believe Carl Icahn offered $33 a share. Fertitta came back at $34. The company's in this 45-day look period, so we're still in the middle of this, and no deal has been finalized or announced, but it's starting to come out that perhaps the company is going to get broken up, and that I've heard rumors that maybe El Dorado splits back off. Maybe they just take the Las Vegas Strip assets and split them off, or maybe just the digital assets and then leave the casinos. These are the options that are being explored, but it does seem after this happens, if this sale is approved, Caesars Entertainment, as it stands today, will not survive as one piece.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit surprising. It's not surprising because we talked about how we didn't know that he had the funding to go all in on this and make a go of it with all the debt load they had. But it is a bit surprising that we think that the online portion is kind of the future or what they've been leaning into, maybe the more profitable aspect of this. If he's just buying that, then they're just giving up another chunk of their profitability. Like, it just seems like they're trying to delay the inevitable here. That's just my assumption. We don't know what portion El Dorado would keep, what portion he's looking to buy. I think it does make sense to break it up a bit. It's just a question of what pieces does he keep together.
And the digital part of the business is actually growing. It's probably, I would say, the healthiest part of the business and probably worth a lot. Maybe that's how you do this. You sell off the valuable digital assets if you're really interested in the casinos. I mean, we just don't know, but it does seem likely that all this is happening. Caesars, I mean, this company, these assets, I mean, it's been sold 4 times since 1999, more times than that if you count all the companies that have sort of been merged into this company. Is a crazy history, and this just seems like another chapter is about to unfold. And it would be super interesting if El Dorado pulled back out their casinos from Reno and moved back to being a small time operator, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'd love to hear what everybody out there has to say. We still don't have anything concrete, but everything I've read says this company's getting broken up.
Yeah, I mean, it would be kind of interesting if they did all the local casinos and the El Dorado just went back to like their roots, but this had to have cost them a pretty penny in the process.
As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $7 a month gets you access to our weekly after show. A lot of fun recording that. All access for $11 adds in live streams, our money saving guide, all kinds of other stuff coming up in the future for that. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. Thanks to everybody who supports us in our Patreon community. So the Vanderpump Hotel, we did a giant segment on the rooms and everything we're looking at there. And despite it all being so feminine, we really like it. And I think we both decided that we'd love to stay in those rooms. But one interesting thing I did notice, and we didn't really talk about it on the show, and other people pointed it out in the comments, the bathrooms of these rooms really aren't being done. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're making some small changes, but largely they're the same. Small showers. These are really small bathrooms in the standard rooms. And that feels like a letdown. Like this room with all of its glory should have a bathtub.
I mean, that's where you get expensive, though. When you're talking about bathroom remodel, it's way more costly than probably everything else they've done in the main room just because of what that entails. So I'm not too surprised. You would think that they'd try to freshen it up in some way. But like you said, this room kind of screams loungy, relaxation, spa type vibe. So you would probably want a bathtub, but you're kind of stuck with the footprint that they had. It's hard to make that work.
So a lot of comments on that show about all kinds of things, the yoga at Durango and everything else. One of my favorite comments was that Liberace and the Gabor sisters would feel right at home in these rooms. So what used to be gaudy, I guess, is in today because I really like it.
Yeah, I think it looks appealing. It looks like you would get good rest there, relaxing, kind of opposite of what Vegas is when you're down in the casino and lots of noise, lots of excitement, energy. You come up here, just like I said, it feels kind of spa-esque. It feels soothing, relaxing. So I could see people really enjoying this.
Well, over to Rio, and the Drunken Donkey closed, and we covered that a few weeks ago, but it is going to be replaced. And I think Vital Vegas broke this story with Tacos del Rio, a new concept. I think it's opened already this week. So now you have another sort of kicking out a brand. This way, this time it's Guy, who's a holdover from Caesars Entertainment. They also kicked out Hash House and put in their own concept, and it seems like the same thing is happening here.
Yeah, I do wonder if this is kind of like what we saw at Sahara, where they wanted to have more control over the aspect. They wanted to be owners in all of the restaurants that are there, so they're not left holding the bag at some point. So I could see that being the move here, and then also kind of refreshing, bringing some new excitement to it. But Drunken Donkey is such a cool name. I never noticed if they have like cool merch or whatever, but that is a great name. It's sad to see it go.
Yeah, it really is. And I wonder how many people don't know everybody knows the translation, right, of that. But the way that Tacos del Rio is described is not street food and not fine dining. It's high volume, high energy Mexican comfort food. So I don't know. Probably not much different than what was there before. You know, you got to check the boxes. You need a Mexican restaurant. Any good casino has one.
Yeah, I think they could have just done the fast grab and go tacos. People would have loved it.
I haven't been over there since they opened this, but the Burro Borracho had a taco window that's been closed for years and years and years and years. So maybe that will come back. So hopefully it does.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great addition. I love being able to just grab something, get back to the gaming or whatever you're doing. You don't always want to sit down and take your time.
So this next story is an update to what we talked about at Sahara in our entire Sahara video. Maroon by Chef Kwame. It is coming. It is finally has an opening date, April 24th at Sahara. Now, we toured the sort of bones of this restaurant and we saw some, design concepts and stuff like that. Has some very interesting stuff. We tried to contact their PR rep this week to see if we could get in there to see it again, and they sort of blew us off. So there you go, April 24th. It looks amazing. I mean, we think this is going to be a great space.
Yeah, I was hoping that we could squeeze it in and end up opening the weekend that I was going to be there. So it would have been cool if we could check it out.
And the big headline here is this is Sahara's replacement for Bazaar Meat, which is Basically, this is their flagship restaurant, Caribbean-inspired steakhouse. I think it's 125 seats, but they're also going to have this like speakeasy kind of private dining spaces, some very interesting stuff in there. So looking forward to seeing it open, and hopefully we'll get to check it out sometime soon.
I just want to see the rum room. I think that was such a cool concept idea. I want to see how it plays out. And I think the design aesthetic that Sahara has done throughout the hotel and casino has been really good. So I'm interested to see how much money they're pouring and effort into this establishment, what it looks like. And then, of course, Kwame's supposed to be like this amazing chef and kind of like the next big thing. So it'd be cool to see his take on everything.
And let's close with some numbers, Mark. We got the numbers from February, and here's a headline. I mean, we have not had an increase in visitors since December of 2024. So I'm 2.1%. Let's just do it. We went up by 2.1%, as I said on Twitter. Oh my!
Well, that's what happens when you have a bad year. It's easy to have a good year the next year, right?
You don't like my George Takei? You can't give me love for that? I thought it sounded pretty good.
No, it sounded like the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh man, that's rough. The only thing that was down in the numbers was the convention attendance, down slightly, but everything from average daily rate, revenue per available room was up. There was a huge swing in baccarat and a huge decline in roulette. So it's just one of those kind of swing things, but overall gaming revenue was up just a little bit. So this is going to be, I mean, last year was sort of rough and we saw a huge decline, 7.5% across the year. Basically, we're about even with last year across both months, like 12,000 person difference or something. So we're not growing and recovering from that bad 2025, but we're not losing ground maybe. And I think that this is as positive a news as you can find.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the March numbers with March Madness and everything, and if that has an uptick. This is a great start. I mean, January was down. This is up. Does it continue to trend up? But RevPAR for the year is up, I think, 5 or 6% throughout year to date. So for 2 months. So the people are kind of flat, but revenue is up, which is interesting to see.
And as we sort of led into March Madness or getting ready for it, people betting more, and some interesting takeaways from the gaming numbers. Mobile sports betting was up 28.9%, while retail sports betting was down 14.4%. Of course, basketball betting up 50.4% from the month before. It's just because you're going into the season. But it does seem like a robust, sort of healthy place to be. And this is an interesting reset because I've talked about it before. The visitors coming to Las Vegas last year are basically the same as 20 years ago. We are taking in more money, and not just when you adjust for inflation. So the market has grown in that way, but still not grown in the visitor way. I think that there's some great opportunities this year, and the numbers won't be like so bad if we can increase every month by 1 or 2% over last year, because those were all declines. So good opportunity to kind of change the narrative here.
Yeah, plus we got the all-inclusive coming to Dirty Castle, Dirty Pyramid. It's going to set the world on fire. So numbers are going to be really up.
Well, that's what you have to worry about, is if they're going so far to have this all-inclusive deal, what are the forecasts? They have a lot of numbers, a lot of forecasting. They can see internally how they see this year being. And clearly, I mean, I think you're right. It's not saying, oh, Vegas is on fire, but still struggling to get the lower end sort of customer to the Vegas Strip at this point.
Yeah, and I think that these numbers kind of bear that out. Like it's somewhat level up a little bit. And I think that's the high end portion of this propping up the rest of Vegas. And they're trying to scoop up a little bit of the low end. And if they can get that to work, if a promo like this gets people to come to Vegas into the lower end hotels and casinos, then that will just add, because you're going to keep getting the high end people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is good news. I think everybody got excited about it. What a week of news we had last week with the NBA team and a new casino opening and everything else. And this was good news to see. So if you're tired of watching all this stupid social media, Vegas is empty, Vegas is dead nonsense, at least we can throw this 2.1% back in their face.
Yeah, take that, TikTok.
Take that, TikTok. But let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. The team for the NBA, what should they be named? Scorpions, Neon, Screens, something else, the numbers, everything else we discussed on this show, the new taco place over at Rio. What do you think? Leave a comment below. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll be back on Wednesday with a solo show. Mark back with me on Friday. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week, everybody.